it's such a mistake. This is such a mistake, this movie.
This movie is a true delight because of the... You know what? Wait. Let's do Time Does first and do the intro.
Yeah.
Welcome to Direct-to-Video VHS podcast where we pair movies like fine wine. I expect to get through this episode in about half an hour to 45 minutes because this is a nothing burger of a movie.
There is no way this movie is 68 minutes long. 8 of those minutes is credits.
There is no
and it's
middle of this movie. There's an opening and there's a closing and there's no middle. And I'm going to be honest. I'm going to lay it out. I was entertained by this movie. And it's not like I loved it or anything, but I have watched so many bad kids movies that this kids movie, which is genuinely bad, was just like fine. I was like, it was
a smooth drink, right? But it was a lukewarm cup of water.
It was yes. I don't want to get it twisted. It's not a good movie. And it is absolutely, spectacularly ruined, majorly ruined by being a prequel to Anastasia.
It didn't have to be, though.
There's no reason.
It could have been literally anything else. And it's too long.
I kind of love it. It's Don Bluth's last movie.
Is it his last? I
thought we talked about it being his last time. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure
Titan AE is after this, right?
Maybe.
I think Titan AE is.
It's roundabout there, and it's like we are dropping off point. But like weirdly, it doesn't have like the darkness of a Don Bluth movie. It's like light all the way through.
It really feels like. I don't know. It really feels like a Disney movie in a lot of weird ways.
Because this has 2 directors. Was he like the animation director on this movie or something? Like, but they just gave him director because he had the bigger name? Like, I don't know.
Gary Goldman is the assistant director on every Don Bluth movie after The Land Before Time.
Okay.
So I don't know what his... I don't know like what the split in like responsibility is there, but it really does feel like Don Bluth was just in charge of the animators and Gary Goldman was more in charge of like the heavier production stuff, like
maybe
shot composition and what the scenes are going to be and how they're going to be organized and probably even voice acting direction. I don't know. It's so weird though, because like it's like this is the guy who is like he is involved in like all of the big ones. He is co-director for all of those big movies. I mean, I say all of those big movies. Like what we think of as like kind of the stinker zone, right? Rock-a-Doodle and all that stuff. Thumbelina, a troll in Central Park. Like we're talking like real like post the 3 big ones, right? Is when Gary Goldman comes in.
There's so many Don Bluth movies. It's fucking wild. Can you imagine at like the height of Disney's power making your own studio and just being like, I'm gonna do this too? Fucking bold. Help define our childhood.
No, absolutely. And like I say what like I think we all vary wildly on the scale of how we feel about The Secret of Nim and American Tail and The Land Before Time and All Dogs Go to Heaven. But those 4 movies fucking hit.
I don't think I have seen a Don Bluth movie as an adult that I have actually liked. Like, I think every Don Bluth movie that I've sat down and watched, I was like, okay. I mean, and there is something I quite enjoy about Anastasia, but it's because it's like a good, like well done movie, less than
It's good. It's a piece of art on like a technical level, like Bambi. You know, it is like it is like a showcasing the tech.
But like American Tail does not reach Bambi. We slogged through American Tail the whole time. I was thinking like, I thought I liked American Tail.
No, I absolutely. And like, we're never going to watch the Land Before Time movies because like, there's just no point to it. But like, mean, I still think that the Land Before Time 5 is good.
I might still push for just the ones with the T-Rex in them.
Just 3 and 5.
Yeah, just 3 and 5. It sounds like a fun weekend.
I have the last time I watched The Land Before Time 5 was, I think, when I was in high school, which is way too late, because I forced my little brother to watch it. That was the compromise movie when he was like, I want to watch the SpongeBob movie again, and I was like, no.
Oh, the SpongeBob movie, it gets old after the first watch. It's not a bad movie, but you can't repeat the jokes.
It gets old in the middle of the first watch, I'll tell you what.
Boy, they replayed that all the time.
It was big.
Unlike Nickelodeon, it got pretty old.
Yeah, so
Sorry, go on.
Land Before Time 5 was one of those compromise movies. If I put this on, he won't complain. I actually don't know how he feels about it now that he's an adult. I should ask him, but... Yeah, I'm looking at like all of these movies, and yeah, I can't, like, I think of all of the ones that we've seen, Anastasia is definitely the best one. But like, even like,
it's got the strongest music too. Yeah, that's pretty big for me.
Even outside of the Bluthaverse, right? Like looking at Swan Princess or Balto, like those movies aren't really hitting the pop cultural like zeitgeist as much as Bluth was. Like Bluth really had something, and this movie is really like, oh, it was an accident. It was an accident. You never really knew what you were doing.
Oh, I don't know, because like, do you know who else has movies like that is Steven Spielberg? And part of me thinks that Spielberg has to know how movies work, even if he keeps on churning out ones that nobody wants to see.
Yeah, but like, I don't fucking like Lincoln, but that's like a movie, like, right? You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm not gonna fucking watch.
This movie did have big Kronk's New Groove energy.
Oh, dude, it's so bad, and it's like, I would argue that this movie has a little bit more substance, but it's also so much shorter. Or it feels shorter. I don't actually know. So what movie is this?
Oh, fuck. I guess it really was Bartok the Magnificent. Hey, that's like how they end the movie.
Yeah, that's also how they start it, I think. No, they don't.
They do, except the start of this movie is actually slaps.
The Baba Yaga song?
The Baba Yaga song? They started singing a song about how evil and terrible the Baba Yaga is. And I was like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. This is going to be like a Hellboy story. This movie is going to be great.
I was so excited because that song was so good.
Yeah.
And then following Baba Yaga, we get Bartok the Magnificent's the song.
And it's too bad because he is continuing the same song, and it's not... It's got a beat. I mean, I've definitely heard worse songs, but, it's not good.
It was so deflationary for me.
And I was just watching Bartok. So, Bartok the Magnificent. I guess we have to talk about this, about how this movie fails what it claims to be, what it claims to do. Mm-hmm. This movie is not a prequel.
No.
Because it doesn't do what a prequel would have to do, which is, have Rasputin in it. I thought, when this movie started, they started singing about the Baba Yaga, I was like, Rasputin's gonna be Baba Yaga's apprentice.
Or something, right?
That's where I was. I was like, this is it. Hell yeah. No. No.
So, it truly is, again, this is the curse of Anastasia, right? Like, the curse of, the problem of Anastasia being, a semi-historical fiction.
Sorry. The curse of Anastasia was killing her whole family.
Yes, but that was the curse on Anastasia.
Okay, fine.
The problem with Anastasia being a historical fiction, right? This movie...
This is the hardest part, yeah.
If this movie is a prequel, then what this movie needs to do is it needs to set up the Romanovs
Yeah.
And Rasputin, right? Like Star Wars, the classic example, right? What does the Star Wars prequels do? It has to set up Darth Vader, and it has to set up the Empire.
Boy, it does it badly, but this did it worse. So
This this made me feel like the prequels were fucking art, dude. Like, holy shit. Because it has nothing to do with it.
it has a fucking Romanov in it, and I fucking
He's
looked him
fake.
up, and I couldn't find
He's
him.
fake.
I don't think he's real.
He's not real. He is not real. They like, I'm so upset that they just completely these motherfuckers had like kids for days. There is absolutely like a loser nephew somewhere out there that they could have picked. And who is Ludmilla? What is her relationship to Ivan? Ivan's the name of the prince.
Right. And he's not Ivan the Terrible, because Ivan the Terrible is mentioned in the movie, so it's not him.
No. Also, that would mean that this movie took place like 500 years prior to
Maybe
Anastasia.
Bartok's immortal. That would be fine. Like, if the Baba Yaga made him immortal, fine, I can live with that. It was 500 years ago, but it's just not. It's just a different timeline.
It's a different movie. It's a different everything. The only thing that connects this movie to Anastasia is Bartok.
And so it just doesn't need to be connected to Anastasia. They just needed
At
to
all.
grab the little paint can tool and turn
Yeah.
them gray, and then do the movie.
Yeah. And just we don't even get the sexy bat, right? Like,
No, we don't get a sexy bat.
We're
get
so
a
far away from
strange thing. I don't know.
We get I think it's a
supposed to be.
snake.
But it has arms in a scene.
Sometimes, yeah.
So,
I don't know.
Bartok, we've been talking around the movie.
That's because I can summarize it in a sentence.
Well, he's a performer, right? So he's a performer, and I guess low-key a grifter, although I feel like the performance that he does, people know that it's a lie. This is the type of performance. He goes around claiming that he has slayed a bunch of monsters, and he ends the show by a bear coming out, and he kills the bear. Okay?
Best character in the movie.
Now, how did a bat get all these props? Why does a bat need all this money? We never get the answer to those questions.
Well, he has to pay the bear.
But he's ripping off the bear. Or he would be, except the bear is played by Kelsey Grammer and is like just as good as ripping him off. And the bear's like, we're never separated, so I guess that bear fucking dies at some point between this movie and the next movie.
In those 500 years. The bear is also like a trained Shakespearean actor.
Yeah, the joke is that he's British. That's it. It's fine. He's okay. No, you know what? I take it back. He's bad because I could not get a grip on the bear's personality because he would be all fucking over the place on what he thought Bartok should do in a scene.
Yeah, he would go from being like, Bartok, this is what you need to do. You need to be a hero. You suck so bad. You could never be a hero.
Right. It's very strange. Like, he's also a grifter. And, okay, here, actually, this is a great moment for this. Ivan, the child who is going to be Tsar one day, gives Bartok a ring for, quote-unquote, saving his people. Fine. Ivan's an idiot.
He's a child.
The regent, Ludmilla, is like, nah, you can't give him the ring, but it's too fucking late. And the bear's like, you're not going to keep that ring, right? That's a royal ring. And I'm sitting here like, why do you care? You're a grifter.
You're not even from here.
Yeah, you're British.
Dude, what you guys do is you go to fucking Poland's part of Russia at this point. You go to fucking Germany. You go to Switzerland. You just skedaddle with that ring. Bob's your uncle, man. No one's gonna know who that ring belongs to. No one gives a shit.
Yeah, pull the stick out of your ass. What are you doing? So it's just strange. I'm like, the bear's all over the place on what he thinks should happen. He tells Bartok to give the ring back, which strikes me as something that might offend a child czar, which I don't want to do because he could have me killed.
Oh, yeah, dude, you don't... Child king? No way, man. I'm not messing with that shit.
bad shit. Oh, but it's okay because this Child King, we know that he's the good guy because I guess because he's a real Romanov and Ludmilla fucking isn't.
Yeah, it's because we know he's a good guy because he's voiced by Hey Arnold.
Is he?
Yeah.
That's kind of great, actually. I missed that.
I recognized the voice. I was like,
maybe if they were playing some jazz behind him.
I would love it if this Russian Tsar Child King was wearing like a kilt. What Ludmilla has like an indescriptive like relationship to Ivan. She is his like caretaker, advisor, vizier, not his mom.
I got to the point. She's got to be regent. Okay, that's the only thing that makes sense because he is technically not the Tsar. She keeps saying he will be Tsar. So, like, she has to be regent, and part of her job has to be raising him. And she gets fucking sick of it because he gave this ring away, which is such a low thing. Like,
well,
come on.
I don't like Ludmilla's character, but Catherine O'Hara, who's voicing her, is doing such a good job of just being like, I fucking hate this kid. I hate this kid so much.
Can I tell you my problem with Ludmilla?
Yeah.
She's a better ruler than Ivan. And I know, low bar.
Right.
But like,
easy.
Do you know what her reasoning for taking the throne is? It's for listening to the peasants' complaints. And when Bartok comes back in at the end of the movie, all the peasants are fucking there because she is doing like an outward facing politic. Like she's like, I'm gonna win the people over. And do you know who doesn't do that? Not to put too much of a pin in it, but the Romanov family.
Yeah, so here's the thing, right? Is like something happens to the Romanov family in the beginning of Anastasia due to their lack of, let's say, tactfulness.
Yeah, this movie being at all connected to Anastasia just ruins Ludmilla as a villain. Like, so whatever. I'm not too burned up about it.
She should have drank that potion and turned into Lenin.
Also, she has big. She has big Yzma vibes.
Oh, yeah. This is the weirdest way.
Yeah, by like a year, right? And I don't know if a character animator left Emperor's New Groove and came to Bartok the Magnificent, but she's Yzma to the point that like there's a bit with a lever and the potions look like the same potions, and it was distracting.
They do. They really do.
Like, what's happening in this movie? I here's the thing, we'll never know. I'll never know why that happened.
Oh man. It really does feel like somebody somewhere is connected in some way. Who knows what it could be.
Yeah, it's got to be something. I know that movie fell apart before it got back together, so maybe some of the animators left and joined this one. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. There's like no way to know unless you like ask every individual, like the person who animated Yzma, if you can find
Don
them.
Bluth lives near me. I could track him down.
I don't think he's gonna remember. Probably
not. He's like 100 years old. So
the crux of the film is that Ivan gets kidnapped in the middle of the night.
Very clearly, not by the Baba Yaga. Like, as an adult watching the movie, obviously not by the Baba Yaga. They don't show her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the Baba Yaga is blamed. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you why the Baba Yaga is blamed. Because for reasons that I cannot fathom, Ludmilla is like, okay, got rid of the Tsar. Now all I have to do is get Bartok the Magnificent killed. Why? I guess because he has the ring?
I gotta get rid of this bat.
She just doesn't like him.
And again, that's fair. He sucks.
He does suck, but like, does he suck for like a royal murder plot level? I don't think he does. He just kind of sucks.
I definitely think maybe it was like an optics thing. Like, well, I need everyone to think like I did something to save the prince.
100% it was an optics thing, but she could have sent a guard. But I'm gonna send a bunch of guards in here. Like, if she was really evil, she'd be killing her guards, right? But she just goes to kill Bartok. And I just think she's not that evil. I would probably try to kill Bartok if I spent any amount of time with him. Most of the characters in the movie do.
literally every character in this movie except for the snake whose name escapes me.
The pink snake, yeah.
Pilaf.
Sounds right. Everybody else gets so fucking sick of him.
Yeah, so Ludmilla sends Bartok off on this grand adventure. Well, sorry, sends Bartok off on this grand adventure, and Bartok is like, nah, I'm not going to do that. And then that's when... Okay,
this bear, this whole time, has been hiding because he's been having to play dead. So he's been hiding under the thing, and he's been like, no, don't accept this grand adventure. And then the moment they're out, he's like, he sings a song about how he has to accept the grand adventure, and I don't get it. Kelsey Grammer. It's very distracting that Kelsey Grammer was in the last movie.
No, right? I know. It is wildly distracting. So they go and they find the Baba Yaga's front door, which is a CGI skull voiced by Tim Curry.
Tim Curry is evil CGI. He is a big evil door. He tells one okay joke and like 4 more bad ones.
I love the Frasier episode that this teased to me. The idea of Tim Curry showing up as like an extravagant, flamboyant, like gay Riddler in a Frasier episode. Can you imagine the sexual tension in the 90s? And we get it for like 10 seconds in this movie, and I was like, better movie.
Better movie. The one, I want to be clear, the one Tim Curry joke that I quite liked was he keeps asking like low-key riddles, but he opens the first one with this like really long algebra problem.
Yeah.
And like Bartok is like right on top of it. He starts writing it down the whole way, like the length of this thing, and then he just says, what kind of key goes to the Baba Yaga's door? And Bartok looks up at him and said, oh, I thought it was like an arithmetic thing. And it's
that joke did get me.
That was a good joke, but it might be the good joke in the movie.
Yeah, no other joke in this movie lands. So, and we're halfway through the movie at this point. So,
yeah. And then he meets
we meet
the Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga is just some old lady who has magic powers.
I am irritated because it becomes very clear as this goes along, because this part of the movie fucking drags for a bit. It becomes very clear that the Baba Yaga is not evil at all. She's just an old magic lady. And like, okay, but she lives behind a giant skull in an iron wood. I need her to be evil. Like, maybe she's evil, but she wants Bartok to kill this bitch because, like, she's messing with her. Fine. But I need her to be evil.
At the very least, she needs to be menacing, right? I'm thinking of, like, the 2 sisters from Spirited Away.
Okay, yeah.
Right? Like, either she needs to be the evil sister or the incredibly menacing but good sister, right? Like, this kind of like, I don't know. She's just kind of like a bland old woman.
She's like doddering. Yeah, she's pretty nothing. It's really lame. I was excited about the Baba Yaga at the start of this movie. I was so psyched about it. Anyway, she sends him to go get the snake girl. Tells him the bear can't help him, and so he builds like a big engineering thing to like fling her back. It was weird.
And then he builds he goes to an ogre who I hate. Everything about this character and its design sucks.
Gotta take his hat. Takes
his hat. Thank you. I forgot what he had to do there. He takes his hat.
Yeah.
And then he has to get a feather that doesn't fall, but he's not allowed to fly.
I need to mention something, because in between this and the feather, he gets a night's rest.
1 night's rest, yes, thank you.
And I have a question.
Like Jesus.
For fucking why? Like, why did they think
The writer had one of those like plot hole moments where he was like, "Oh no, he's been awake for 2 days straight. Audiences aren't gonna believe that."
Keep him awake for 2 days straight. Keep the stress on. What are you doing? He could mention how tired he is when he has to build the last thing.
He's just an animated bat, dude. He could be awake for 100 years. Like, who cares?
Asleep, and I'm like, what are we doing? And I was like, it was at that moment that I was like, okay, so not only is the Baba Yaga not menacing, not evil, but she's like explicitly being like, time for you to go to sleep for a little while, nappy nap time. I'm like confused.
So he gets a
real
day's rest.
Asshole about it.
He's such a dick. He's a dick throughout the whole movie. He does this thing that I fucking hate. I think that video games do this more often than movies, but I fucking hate this shit. Where a character just complains about having to do things. And it's like, dude, if you don't want to do it, I certainly as hell don't want to watch you do it. Like, he's such a bad, like, he's such a rotten tomato about it. Like, the whole movie, Bartok just doesn't want to do anything. And it's like, this sucks as like a hero, right?
Yeah.
Like, the ideal would be that he really wants to do it, but because of his, small stature,
because he's a tiny little bat and he's like a little shit.
and his bite can never be as big as his bark, but instead he spends the whole fucking movie complaining, and it really wore me down. It really wore me down.
Yeah, so then he goes and gets the feather, but he can't fly.
Gets the feather, builds a tower.
Builds a tower out of all the other junk he got. Grabs the feather, brings it back. Turns out this was a potion for him. The Baba Yaga breaks down crying because he starts insulting her. And
he does do
I
that.
sat there the whole time like, I think she's really crying, which is so weird for this character.
Right. It's not like a trick, which is what I thought it was as well.
Yeah. I was like, what are you doing?
Oh, and then the fucking, the bear is like, Bartok, you really did something only a hero could do. And it's like,
my God.
What are you talking about, my man? He literally didn't do anything. He just felt bad.
He showed compassion to a woman who had only been helping him out this entire time.
Oh, God, can you imagine? And so...
But, okay, she's ugly, Andy.
She gives him this magic potion. No, we're going to get into it. She gives him this magic potion. And it's like, this magic potion is going to... It will bring out your inner self.
Right. I'll be honest, I sort of saw what happened next coming. However...
Yes.
I still really wanted Bartok to have a sip of it. I was like, we set all this up and where's his fucking inner self? Also, it should really only work on him since it needed his tears, but whatever.
Right.
This is just me as a writer thinking about how you build magic in stories.
And even in like the realm of fairy tales, right? Like if you're thinking about your like Jack and the Beanstalks, like Bartok should have there is a rat in the background of this fucking movie that gets to take a lick of that fucking potion juice, and Bartok doesn't get even a drop. Are you kidding me?
There should have been like a little bit that he was like, I need this, and drank a little.
And they don't even do the thing where he's like, or they don't even do the thing where they're like, and see, he didn't even need the magic potion. The true strength was inside of him. No, it literally just doesn't matter.
Yeah, he just didn't need it. And so like all the Baba Yaga did was hurt him with this thing that she made to help.
And then tell him, oh, hey, you didn't have to come all this way because Ivan's just been in a tower in town the whole time.
Yep.
I gotta say, you know what I love in video games? I love it when somebody gives me a quest and I have to walk all the way to the other side of the goddamn map. And then I get there and they're like, oh man, it's so cool that you made it. But you have to go all the way back to where you came from.
Yep. Super cool.
And I'm like, oh, cool, fuck this game. And then I turn it off. That's this movie. Like that's the whole movie. We're going on this like montage venture. And then at the end of it, it's like, why did you even leave, dude? You what you were looking for was both inside of you the whole time and also where you started.
But he doesn't do all the important things you're supposed to do when... Because a lot of great stories have, like, a pointless adventure, right? But he doesn't do the shit you're supposed to do on the quote-unquote pointless adventure, which is, like, make some fucking friends who help you in the climax.
This is literally like every
Wizard
single fucking Studio Ghibli movie.
Like Wizard of Oz, she doesn't need to go on any of that adventure. She just needs to tap her damn heels together. But she goes on this adventure, and she and a Tin Man and a Scarecrow and a lion murder a witch.
And that Scarecrow is holding a gun, lest you forget.
He's holding a damn gun! He is ready to take people out! And none of that happens in this one. I mean, Kelsey Grammer's with him, but Kelsey Grammer was with him the whole time. He doesn't get the evil Tim Curry skull to attack. That would have been good.
That would have been sick. They don't help Bartok overcome the evil, right? Like,
no. They cause the evil. I think Ludmilla might be the best part of this movie, not because she's super good, but because she's the only part that actually works on any level.
She's acting like in the way a person would act.
Yeah. Or at least like a Jafar type character.
Yeah.
She doesn't need to be like believable human, but she's got that sort of Disney villain energy. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why she decided to drink that potion, but like he talked about how great it was, so she gave it a shot. And you know what? She didn't regret it for a second. More power to her. The speed at which she went from, I want to be the queen of all Russia to, you know what, Moscow could be rubble, is awesome. It's absolutely. So he goes to see Ludmilla and be like, don't worry, I've found Ivan. He's in the tower. Bartok apparently also quite stupid. And she's like, he's in the tower. Okay, let's all go to the tower. And by all, she means her and him and her guard. This might be my favorite part of the movie.
I love this. This is such a great reveal.
Yeah, except for the one, obviously, that very good joke.
Yeah.
But this might be my favorite part of the movie, where it turns out, yes, he is in the tower, and Ludmilla did not know. Excellent.
The guard literally just has his Kronk moment of like, well, did you need to hear those words exactly?
Yeah, he's like,
oh my, and
he's like, yeah, I got the Tsar and got him out of the way, like you said. And she was like, I meant out of the way, like kill him. And he was like, but he's the Tsar. Fucking excellent. So good. It's like really good.
No, it's absolutely like that's the great joke.
I just love a villain who was outdone by her henchmen, but we never got to see it because she's a twist villain.
Yeah.
And it's like, if the rest of this movie was good, that would have been like a super excellent last minute reveal.
Well, I mean, yeah, like if the rest of this movie was good, it would have just been like The Emperor's New Groove, right? Like it's kind of funny.
The Emperor's New Groove does it the other way, where you see what everybody's thinking the whole time, which is like the classic way to do a Disney movie. And I do think it's better because you get a lot more build up that way. But like, I just, when I saw this happen, I was like, man, I fucking wish I'd seen this in a good movie, because that was really good.
Yeah, it's a fun time. So Ludmilla puts Bartok in a tiny little bat cage that she did have prepared in this tower, even though she did not know this tower existed.
Well, this tower is a cage for humans and their like talking animal companions.
Oh, fair.
You know what? I made that up on the spot, but it does sound like something that would happen in this world.
And so she takes his potion and is like, well, if this potion makes me even more powerful, then of course I'm going to drink it. Because there's no such thing as too much power. And how do you feel about this song?
It is okay. I think the thing is, everything this movie was doing at this point, I was already kind of done with the movie. So if I have a hard time focusing on the song itself, the transformation was grisly.
It is distressing. It is truly grotesque.
It is nasty. She keeps the bodice on for so long, and that makes it so much more like lewd in my head that she's like turning into a lizard person. And just like has this, when it finally comes off and she just looks like Pete's dragon but without wings, I'm fine.
But for that moment, and also the song is like it's the villain song, but it is like a striptease kind of like motif.
It's sort of like that Tim Curry song where he's the God, I don't remember what movie this is from, where he's like the spirit of pollution. Do you know the song I'm talking about? And all of his lines are like super horny, but actually about pollution.
Jesus. Yeah, I get what I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's like...
That was probably another Don Bluth movie, actually.
Was that fucking... No way.
I will bet you $1 million.
Hold up. I'll find it. I'll find this movie. The Spirit of Pollution. God, this guy's been in so many movies.
Fern Gully, Toxic Love.
Fern Gully. Oh, God. That's not a Bluth.
Is it not?
No, I don't think so. That is Bill Croyer. That's a 20th Century Fox.
Okay. Well, I did find it. I lost $1 million on that, but the song is Toxic Love.
Toxic Love. Yeah, no, it is exactly like that. It's like a weirdly the music, the lyrics themselves are super boring. Mm-hmm. It is literally just, I can't wait to be super powerful. But the like motif of the music is very like sexual, and it's weird. And it's not.
Weird. It's a weird vibe.
And the imagery is just so grotesque. And also, like, again, like I don't want to like get too far into it, but like I did not expect just like a kind of like top of the ninth inning like fat phobia in this, but like that's the twist, right? Is like Ludmilla, who is this like incredibly like stick, like she's like a character. Yeah, she looks like Yzma. She's just like a stick person. Like her becoming truly evil is her becoming this like big, horrendous, overweight dragon without wings. And also her overweightness is her downfall.
I didn't read it like that, but you definitely could read it like that.
It's just kind of a weird touch, right? Like she could have just been like, I guess maybe they didn't want her to look too much like the dragon from
Sleeping Beauty, right?
Sleeping Beauty, but like that's
exactly where my head went. That's what she should have been. She should have been like a dragon.
Yeah.
But she looks too much, like I said, like Pete's dragon. That's what she looks like, and it's like a goofy dragon.
Yeah. And so she turns into this dragon, and she goes into. I do also kind of love this. She just walks into the Kremlin, and is like, "Citizens of Moscow, I have returned." And they're like, "Oh shit, a dragon!" She like
turns on a dime. I love it.
Looks at the floor and instantly loses her humanity and becomes a monster.
Amazing. Astounding.
It's wild.
Wonderful.
It's so wild. And so she destroys Moscow for like 5 minutes maybe. Bartok, with the help of the bear, escapes. And
so there is something I want to give this movie its due where it has tried to earn it at least. Bartok has to solve like 50 fucking problems in this climax, and I do find that interesting. Like, he's got to stop her. He's got to save the Tsar. At one point, somebody's just yelling at him, the tiny bat, to put out a fire. And he's like, I'm working on it.
This is, it's so close to working. But, like, at this point, I'm like, this guy can't do it.
I'm already done with this movie. I wanted him to have a little drop of the potion so he'd get powerful enough to stop her.
Oh, dragon be dragon? Let them fight?
I needed something, you know? And yeah, he tricks her. I guess she is inhuman enough that he can trick her a lot easier. He like tricks her into flooding Moscow, and I watched that happen, and I was like, I don't know that that's necessarily better. I get it. I do get it. But
and then she destroys the tallest Kremlin tower, and it and her crash through the walls of Moscow.
Yep. Going great.
Killing her instantly. And I think that's technically an on-screen death. I'm not sure. It cuts away pretty fast, but like...
But in the last scene, everybody's cutting off dragon meat, cooking it over the fire.
It's pretty brutal for like a movie for like 5-year-olds.
Nah, it's a Don Bluth. You gotta toss in the occasional on-screen death.
That's true. Sorry, you are correct. We do get to watch both actual human beings and mice get pogromed in one of those movies.
I think Littlefoot's mom dies on screen, right?
Yes, she absolutely does. It's a very slow death too.
She gets like a Mufasa moment.
And then we get like 5 minutes of this little shit just crying next to her corpse. Like, it's pretty rough. It's rough. That movie's sad.
I'll be honest, I cannot stand that movie, and I think it's too much like Lion King.
Is it in conversation with Lion King, or did it come out like...
I actually think it came out before Lion King, but it's like they were doing the same thing, and Lion King just like hit those notes a bit better.
Yeah, Lion King was like a beautiful, like emotional journey.
And Land Before Time got dinosaurs.
And Land Before Time was dinosaurs who were sad.
Yeah. Why do they gotta make the dinosaurs sad?
Especially because we all know how it's gonna end for them, right? Like, that's messed up.
Honestly, this was the thing that stressed me out about any dinosaur movie when I was growing up. Let me tell you the plot of every dinosaur movie. There is a major meteorological disaster that the dinosaurs have to outrun. At the end of the movie, they always do it, and that stressed me the fuck out as a kid, because that's not the last one. That's not the last one. There's gonna be one where they no longer do it.
Where they don't make it. And to be fair, I think like logistically that's basically an instantaneous death for half the planet.
That's part of the reason why I truly don't think that is a good plot line for a dinosaur movie. They're around for millions of years. Other shit happened.
That's the end of this movie, right? Like, this movie
that's the end of Bartok the Magnificent. The dinosaurs show up and then they all die from a comet. I'm pretty sure.
And somehow this leads into Anastasia.
That's the thing, is he flies up and Baba Yaga's there in her
that
really
God,
weird way that Baba Yaga rides in like a cauldron,
mortar and pestle. Yeah, it's like a big mortar and pestle.
Right, the mortar and pestle. That's what it is. Yeah. Because that's like a classic Russian... That's part of classic Russian Baba Yaga folklore. Mm-hmm, and they just decided to throw it in.
Why not?
She does have the chicken house and everything. I want everybody to be clear. It's not a bad setup for Baba Yaga. She's just boring. And then she calls him Bartok the Magnificent. And the movie ends. And I'm sick of it. But it was 60 minutes. And that was... okay.
Again, it went down like a glass of water that was the perfect body temperature.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even realize it, which is part of the reason why I was like, no, we have to record this now.
We're gonna forget everything about this movie.
I'm not gonna fucking remember this shit. Like, nothing happens. Yeah, this movie is truly like a nothing burger, like you said. There's like no. It's just two breads.
It's
two soggy breads.
Oh man, they're soggy. That's bad. It's like fine. It would be. It's odd in that it's a movie. We watch a lot of kids' movies on the show, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's a movie that if I was sat in front of with a kid, I would probably think nothing of it. There are a lot of movies I would get much more annoyed at than this movie.
Yeah.
Probably some movies that are like explicitly better than this movie. Like if I was watching a certain amount of the Tinkerbell movies, I would start being like, why was she just born at the beginning of that scene? I would start like getting irritated with the logistics of the Tinkerbell movie. But there's no fucking logistics in this movie, so I just don't have to care about anything.
I don't know. It's kind of wild because it's like, like the Tinkerbell movies are at least they're playing in such a weird fucking mythology that
they keep building off those absolute madmen.
Yeah, for some reason they just decided to like treat that shit like gospel, but like that's something to do, right? Like even and like even like some of the other like kids movies we've watched, like there's a certain amount of like fun factor to them at the very least. Like I don't think this hits the lows of, you know, like Balto 2 or Kronk's New Groove.
But it doesn't hit the highs of Balto 2. Balto 2 is
Yeah.
buck wild.
Yeah, right. That's the thing, though, is there's like, it's not bad enough to comment on, and it's not like really good at anything.
Yeah.
And then again, right, like it's like Anastasia's already like such a hard sell for me that to have this also like on its like legacy, I just think is like a mistake.
A movie that uses a human person is always rough, and throwing a sequel at it that focuses on the sidekick of the bad guy is just wild. It's just wild.
It's like if fucking Aladdin 2 was about the parrot, which is kind of what Aladdin 3 is about.
No. Okay. Aladdin 2 is about the parrot.
Is it?
Iago gets 2 songs in Aladdin 2.
Yeah, that's right.
The whole crux of that movie is that he has to decide between this like new leaf he's trying to turn over and the fact that Jafar is back.
Right. That's right. Oh wow, Aladdin 2 did it better.
Aladdin 2 technically did it better, but that's not a good movie.
Last thing before, because we're hitting 60 minutes, so we need to be done. But one more thing. This movie does look like shit. Like this movie does absolutely look terrible. But I don't think it's because the animation is bad. I don't know why they went with this art style, but like this whole movie looks like a fucking Dr. Seuss ass Whoville ass book.
It doesn't look like Anastasia, which was like the whole. We mentioned it. It's like, wow, it's weird how everybody is just people, like shaped like people. These people are not shaped like people.
And Anastasia has the same. Anastasia like feels like the same level of like effort into like making a city filled with people that like Hunchback of Notre Dame did, right? This like opulence and beauty and structure, and this movie
one just
is
has like peasants in the background.
It's empty. It's like devoid of life. It is the fucking like hills from Green Eggs and Ham back there.
It is extremely funny to see a crowd scene in this movie. I'll tell you that. It reminds me a lot of playing one of the Kingdom Hearts games. Had the Cinderella ball scene in it. And they didn't have any extras in that scene. It was just Cinderella, the prince, and her sisters.
Just standing in the background like...
They were just standing there. It was so fucking funny. It was like...
The power of the PlayStation 2.
It's gotta be 2008, guys. You can't just toss some bodies in.
At least get the 2D like paper cutouts or something.
Something. Anyway, this like we said, this movie was fine. Like it was fine. It wasn't good. It was like whatever. Mm-hmm. Thank you for listening to Direct to Video VHS. Ooh. I have been your host, Tony Robusto.
I have been your host, Andy Reyes.
I guess this is our Halloween episode now. Because there was a bat in it.
Yeah, I guess that's all it takes. We gotta move, I think. I wanted to do like a Scooby-Doo after this.
Oh.
Right? That was my original pitch. But I do think maybe we should just watch The Land Before Time 3 and 5.
That's very funny. Yeah, I think we gotta do it. I'm too like on the Don Bluth shit. I need something to wean me off. And I think The Land Before Time 3 and 5 is gonna do it.
It's going to get us out of there. And we're going to have to come back.
Sure. It's just like, we need a break occasionally. The guy writes mostly bummers.
It's truly wild how depressing these movies can be.
Did I say hi about your host, Tony Robusto? I don't remember.
Yes.
Wait. I'm on Blue Sky now. So I'm at Theater Bats on Blue Sky. I'm not on Twitter anymore because it sucks. And I'm on Blue Sky, and I basically only follow like Neil Gaiman and 2 other people, and it's extremely chill.
I
I no longer see like trending like trending shit anymore. I no longer get my news from a social media site, and it's like awesome.
Oh man, dude, I'm like subscribed to like 8 different email like threads.
Okay.
And
That's the old school way to do it.
yeah, it's all just like journalists that I follow because I still need my news. But like, I'm not on anything. I'm so happy. I'm like so just like, it's been months and like, I just don't think I'm ever going to do social media again, which I guess is like not kosher. Like, I'm sure I'm going to do something on probably YouTube or Twitch at some point just because I need a hobby.
I have been learning a lot about fountain pens from Blue Sky, about what good and bad fountain pens there are, about how there is apparently somebody who makes fountain pen ink that also has like weird neo-Nazi views, and people found out and were like, well, I guess I gotta buy my ink from somewhere else now. And I was like, this is what an odd thing to now know about. Anyway, follow me on Blue Sky if you want to like be one of the 3 people on Blue Sky. Again, very chill.
It's just a hang, man.
If you want an invitation, you can mail us at mail at direct2.video, because I'm not doing anything with these invitations.
Yeah, man. It's we're all here just having a chill time.
That's good vibes. Chill good vibes. Oh, and find me at inspiredbytrueevents.org, because I do continue to update that. Even when we don't update this, because it's a lot harder to get 2 people together than it is to get one person to occasionally write something down.
It's true. It's true. It is hard to get 2 people together. You can find me. You can find me around. You know, like a wandering Ronin. If you really do need to contact me, you can find me on co-host at Digital Sous Chef. So. And if my other podcast has been on hiatus for a while, just because life has been a little too hectic for me to have time to do anything and for May to have time to do anything, but we will be coming back shortly. We have plans for kind of maintaining a certain speed of production once we do come back. I'm really excited about that, but that is over at
They're
Time
going to try
Pictures
cocaine
and a lot of methamphetamine. So, Tony, I don't know if you know this, but I'm in medical research now.
Oh, so you can get the good shit?
I cannot, but I do know a lot about why you should not do those things.
I can't get the good shit, but I know why I shouldn't get the good shit. I'm the most boring human being on the planet.
It's true, but you know, we have fun here. So yeah. Who are we thinking again?
Probably Lee wrote, oh, shit on a shit.
Yeah.
Fuck. This is my own fault.
This is again. We miss one deadline, and it's everything's wrong.
It's thank you to Scott Buckley for Homeward, which should be playing right now if we have managed to end this episode.
And tune in next time for The Land Before Time 3. Don't remember what the subtitle is.
Oh, we gotta find that subtitle.
Oh, I thought I had it on the top of my head. 5 is Mysterious Island.
Land Before Time 3.
Is it 3, actually? We should check. I said that with like a confidence.
Great. I think it might be 2. I don't know. Let's see.
It's 2. It's
okay.
It's
2. Okay, so first off, where the fuck is 2 on here?
The Land Before Time, I. The Great Valley Adventure.
The Great Valley. You know what? It's weird. I knew it was something about a valley.
They're all about hey, dude, they're all about a valley. The whole fucking movie is about their fucking valley and how great it is. Every single one of them. They can't stop talking about it. It's truly like...
They're so horny for this valley.
By the 10th movie, it is really like overstated how good this valley is.
Simmer down about your valley. I am the ghost of John Smith.
Our evaporative cooler has been broken for 2 weeks. So actually, it's been broken for longer than that. I'm pretty sure it's been broken for a week and 2 weeks and a half.
30 years.
Yeah. It means that the apartment is like in the mid to high 80s at night.
Ugh.
Which means that I just haven't been sleeping because my body's like, no, this isn't correct. So I'm feeling great.
Everybody is doing awesome on this call we have established.
Yeah.
And we watched a very good movie. No complaints.
Oh, it was a hidden gem, truly.